Hey everyone, I'm Ana Clara, 25 years old, and I'm a doctor. Today, I'm going to share a story from my life, one of those that really shakes you up. Since I was a kid, I fought hard to get where I am now. I grew up in a simple house where something was always missing, except determination. My parents, Marina and Joaquim, did what they could, but life was never easy. And me? I had a big dream, to become a doctor. But the road to get here was full of challenges, and the pressure from my family, who I love so much, nearly broke me. I was married to Enrique, had my little daughter Luísa, and a daily routine that never seemed to end. Shifts at the hospital, taking care of the house, the family I built, all while trying to help those around me. My younger sister, Bianca, 22, was one of them. She was always spoiled and stubborn, but one day she decided she wanted to follow in my footsteps and become a doctor too. At first, I thought it was just a whim, some silly competition. But over time, I saw she had real potential. So every month, I helped pay her college fees, even with my tight schedule and limited resources. On top of that, I bought the house I grew up in. It was my way of making sure my parents had a safe place to live. I put it in my name, but out of respect, I let them stay there. But my relationship with them was never simple. No matter how hard I tried, it felt like nothing was ever enough. My mom would call me ungrateful, saying I drifted away after graduating. My dad said I was stuck up, only thinking about myself. That hurt, because my routine was exhausting, and the little time I had left went to Enrique and Luísa. Still, their words weighed heavy on my heart. One day, I decided to face it head-on. It was a Sunday, and I took my family for lunch at my parents' house. When I got there, I saw Bianca studying in the living room. A mix of pride and relief hit me. At least with her, my efforts seemed to pay off. But the mood shifted fast. My mom, in the kitchen, started with the jabs. Look, Dr. Ana Clara finally showed up, too busy to remember her parents. My dad added in a cold tone, "Don't you think you should pay more attention to your family? It's like you've got a new one now and left us behind." Enrique squeezed my hand to support me, but I felt a lump in my throat. At lunchtime, things got worse. My mom started criticizing how I raised Luísa, saying I worked too much. Then she turned to Enrique, hinting he didn't help enough. That's when Enrique, always calm, spoke up, "Mrs. Marina, that's not fair. Ana carries this family on her back, pays for Bianca's college, and what does she get in return? Just insults." The silence that followed was tense, like something was about to explode. My mom slammed the table, and my dad yelled, "So you think you're doing us a favor? The house is yours, why don't you just kick us out already?" It turned into chaos. I couldn't take it, grabbed Luísa, and told Enrique, "Let's go." In the car, the silence was suffocating. Enrique said, "As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going back there, Ana. You don't deserve this." I just nodded, tears falling. I knew he was right, but how could I give up on my parents? They were my family, despite all the pain. Those days were a storm. Between work at the hospital, home, and that weight in my chest, I could barely think. Then, on a Friday, my parents and Bianca showed up at my house out of nowhere. When I opened the door, I could see in their eyes they wanted something, and it wasn't just a chat. My dad went straight to it. "The house is in your name, but don't you think it'd be better to put it in ours? It's family property." My heart raced. I looked at Bianca, who seemed to expect me to give in. I took a deep breath and said, "No. The house is mine, the result of my hard work. I'm not transferring it to anyone." My mom got furious. What do you mean? Are you planning to leave us on the street? My dad stood up, angry. Fine, we're leaving, and we won't come back. Bianca threatened me, you'll regret this. They stormed out, and I stood there, floored. Enrique came over and said, they've crossed the line, Ana. I knew he was right, but my love for my family still held me back. Things got unbearable a few days later when my parents barged into the hospital where I work. They yelled in the reception, demanding I transfer the house. My dad shouted, we gave you everything, and you humiliate us like this? They brought papers for me to sign right there. Without thinking, I tore them up in front of them. My mom screamed, you don't know what you're doing. But I did. I said, if you want to leave, give me the keys. I'll even pay rent for you somewhere else, but the house stays mine. They left, glaring at me with contempt. That day, I broke down. It was anger, sadness, all at once. Then came Bianca's celebration day, and I went, knowing it wouldn't be easy. There, things seemed calm at first, but I felt the tension in the air. Suddenly, Bianca said loudly in front of everyone, you're not family anymore. My parents added, get out, we'll celebrate without you. Something snapped inside me. With a calm I didn't expect, I said, fine. I'll sell the house and stop paying Bianca's college fees. They were stunned. Their faces went pale, they started begging, but I'd made up my mind. I took Enrique and Luísa and left. Some people even clapped, but all I felt was emptiness. I sold the house. My parents had to move to Sarah, to a simple place, and Bianca dropped out of college. It hurt, but I needed to break free. 2 years later, things changed. They came back more mature. I rented them a house near me and started paying for Bianca's college again. Today, our relationship is different, full of respect. What seemed like the end was a new beginning. So, what do you think? If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. See you next time.